what I want us to notice right now is that the methods that we wrote, the accessor methods and the mutator methods that we wrote, both do not have a word that was present when we were writing methods before, even during the review last class. So it's missing, if you notice, we're missing the word static. So if I have a static method like we had last class, public static, for example, void, let's say print hello. And all this method does is print hello to the screen. Now, what is the difference between calling a method that is not static versus a method that is static? How will it change when I try to call these? So if I come down to main and I want to call print hello, well, I can just say print hello and it will work. But if I say set name to cat, it's not going to work. It's going to complain that non-static method set name, so it's telling us set name is a non-static method, it's not static, cannot be referenced from a static context. It's saying you're in main. Main is a static method, and you are trying to call a method that's not static. So, like I mentioned in Java 1, I want you to think of the word static as shared. Something that's static is shared, meaning anyone can call it, okay? It's shared space. So here you have main, which is shared space, anyone can call it, and you are trying to call a method that's not static, that's not shared. So basically, if you're trying to set the name of someone's bank account to something, you really need a bank account object, and we don't have a bank account object. So the first thing is I would have to create a bank account object. So I'd say bank account, let's say A equal to new bank account, and let's say this was belonged to dog and dog had $10. And now I can go to A, this bank account that I created, and say A, set the name to cat. So this is a non-static method. It needs an object. It needs an object so that I can call it. Okay. Print hello is a static method. Does not need an object. See, I just called it. Now I just want to show you that you can call print hello in a slightly different way. Print hello is found inside the class bank account. So I can say bank account dot, and you'll see that the method actually is there. So I can just say print hello, and this will work. Now, does this remind you of how we used to call some other methods that we used in Java 1? It looks similar to math dot something. So when we used to go to the math class and call some methods, like let's say the absolute value of -19, for example, and I want to print it, or I want to do like, you know, int x equal. When I was going to the math class and calling the absolute value method or the POW method, these were actually static methods. Okay, they are shared methods that anyone can call. So math was not really an object that I'm using, just like here, bank account A is the name of an object that I just created. It's a variable that refers to an object. But here, math is the name of the class that this static method exists in. So whoever created the absolute value method wrote it inside the math class. Just like here, whoever wrote the print hello method, which was me, wrote it inside of the bank account class. Okay, so I want you to not confuse having the class name before a method with an object name. Here it's a variable. Anytime I want to call the absolute value method, I have to put math dot. This is the only option. But if I have two bank accounts in my class, in my main method, for example here, well, I could call the set name method on A, and I could also call it on B. So like print hello that anyone can call. They don't have to have an object. You might need to put the name of the class that it belongs to if you're in a different file. So here I don't have because I'm in the same file, where to find it. But if I'm in a different static methods and non-static methods.